Many of the conceptions in our minds result from our experiences, and that might make them seem ambiguous and obscure. Freedom is one of them, and it's probably the best example of such weird and incomprehensible concepts. I'm not here to talk about whether we humans are free and in control of our behaviors and thoughts, but rather to try to truly understand what it means to be free, and that may help us know whether we're free or not. Since the dawn of time, freedom has mostly been demanded. People have been asking those in power to give it to them. Phrases like, "we want freedom" and "tomorrow we'll be free" make it seem like freedom can be owned or taken away. In other words, freedom does not seem to be in one's control. Instead, it can be robbed or prohibited or lost. And that depends on where you are and whether kings and presidents are merciful enough to offer it. Even if we consider freedom something we're not born with or should be allowed to have, it will still have various meanings, according to time, place, and human needs. The poor may find their freedom in money, and the uneducated may find it at schools. The disabled may find freedom in a running race, and the sick may find it in a healthy body. Many people may even find freedom in death. I guess I've been complicating stuff so far, but please bear with me. Now, the way I talked about freedom has made it too hard or even impossible to have, so I think we need an alternative definition. I've never read a better description of freedom than that of Khalil Gibran. He says in his book, The Prophet, in the chapter Freedom, "At the city gate and by your fireside, I have seen you prostrate yourself and worship your own freedom. I have seen the freest among you wear their freedom as a yoke and a handcuff. And my heart bled within me, for you can only be free when even the desire of seeking freedom becomes a harness to you, and when you cease to speak of freedom as a goal and a fulfillment. In truth, that which you call freedom is the strongest of these chains, though its links glitter in the sun and dazzle the eyes. And if it is a fear you would dispel, the seed of that fear is in your heart and not in the hand of the feared. And thus your freedom, when it loses its fetters, becomes itself the fetter of a greater freedom." According to this definition, your freedom can only be bounded by you. Your freedom is truly there when it is in your hands. If it is offered by others, well, that's exactly what slavery means. Freedom lies in the hearts of those who, no matter how deprived they are, they're still satisfied and blithe. It's not really easy to be free, because it means becoming friends with reality, being reluctant to your own desires, and unattaching your heart from everything that can one day cease, everybody who may one day leave your side, and all the dreams that might not come true. That, for me, is real freedom. It is the one that no tyrant can take away, for it exists in our minds and our hearts, where thoughts are inevitably boundless and feelings are deeply traced. Now, the other freedom, the physical one, let's say, which we represent by the availability of human rights, is extremely important indeed. But I think we must have learned something from the past, as well as the present. We shall stop asking for it, for it shouldn't be demanded, but rather created.